And welcome back to what if Goku was as smart as Bulma? Last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If, we left off with the end of Dragon Ball and what had resulted from that. Now, not a lot had ultimately resulted from that. Most of everything took place as it was. It just kind of was sped along a little bit because Goku was smarter and therefore could comprehend the situations and maybe strategize through them a little bit more. One thing one person did bring up in the comments is that because Goku was, well, actually, I think I can bring that actual comment up. Hold on one second. Because it's a comment that's not overly stupid or anything like that. It's just, I kind of disagree with the comment and I will stick to, well, like what I did with the story, not retroactively change it. Okay, what was it? What was the comment? The comment was, and I don't name names, I never do. Let's see here. Where was that comment? Okay. It was Goku turned into the ape by happenstance and ignorance in canon. That shouldn't happen here. Uh, Happenstance, yes. Ignorance. I mean, he was ignorant of the fact that it had the effect on him. So, I mean, the only place I could see, because he only transforms into the ape three times in canon, technically. Actually, yeah, three times in canon. The first time, which that would make sense. He doesn't know he could turn into it. That wouldn't happen. Uh, the Pilaf scenario is a scenario where you could make the argument it doesn't happen, and that he's aware not to look at the moon. But accidents happen. Doesn't matter how smart you are, which is why definitely I think still happens. Oh, and now I remember. That said, Roshi would. So yes, okay, I remember. That said, Roshi would win when he used the lightning cage technique, as Goku wouldn't be too stupidly stubborn to forfeit when he outmaneuvered. So this was actually in reference to the tournament issue. Goku got knocked on his ass and looked at the moon. Like that. That wasn't. I'm not seeing what you mean when you say happenstance and ignorance. Like that. Like Goku is ignorant of the fact can't stare at the moon. Yeah, he knows he can't stare at the moon here, but if he gets knocked on his ass, is is like maybe a little ooh at the moment. You know, punch drunk. He's a little punch drunk. Yeah, he's got to stare at the moon without thinking about it. And smart people make dumb decisions too sometimes. So in this case, then yeah, I do believe that Goku would still look at the moon in that case. But look, if you disagree, that's fine. That's just the way the story will play out. So evidently, Goku would lose his tail to bring back the moon, as Kami kind of put it. And Kami just made sure that wouldn't grow back. That said, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Goku and Bulma might later down the road try to work with the idea of accessing the ape form again, just try to do it in a more safe and contained way. Hint, hint. Um, hint, hint. But no, back to the plot. Goku. So after the tournament, you would have probably at least for a little bit Bulma and Chi-Chi kind of competing for Goku's affections. Chi-Chi can definitely relate to Goku on the martial artist scale, whereas Bulma can relate to Goku on the intelligence scale, and the fact they've known each other longer. And they're actually, I don't know if they're closer to age than Chi-Chi and Goku are. That is a good question. I have never looked up how old Chi-Chi was when she met Goku. How old was Chi-Chi? Because we know Goku actually was 12. He said he was 14, but Goku's shit at math in the original. The Chi Dragon Ball. So yeah, so we know he didn't get an accurate count. As it turns out, he was about 12. So he's 4 years younger than Bulma, notwithstanding any resurrections or anything like that. So in Dragon Ball, how old was she when she met Goku? I'm wondering, because that will give us a legit. Was born yeah, okay, was born age 737. And if I remember, and Goku, whose age I never remember, or age, her birthday I'll never remember, was born age. Okay. He is born age. Wait, why is this? I've got two different ages here. That's interesting. age 337 and age 334. Why is there two different birthdays here listed? Or age of birth? Goku's born. Oh, in the Dragon Ball Minus timeline. That's it. So him and Chi-Chi are actually basically the same age. Granted, Goku's technically older. Actually, no, he's technically younger than Chi-Chi is. Either way, because of the whole dying and staying, keeping his youth for longer. Regardless, so they would bond probably over technology. Also, Bulma actually showing him things she knows. Not just technology, but engineering, programming. Developing ideas for dealing with like his alien physiology. How can we work with that? And Goku remembers, oh yeah, I remember Grandpa telling me about something in the woods, and I looked for it and found my old ships. Like, you found this ship you were in? It's like, that's amazing. And as the time passes, even Chi-Chi would quickly realize, no, these two have a better bond, closer bond than me and Goku. And she steps aside and just, I'm not gonna fight for you, Goku. I can tell kind of where you guys belong, where you belong. I will always be it's like, but I will always be a friend to you, and I'll always cherish your friendship. It's like, I'll cherish you, and I cherish you as a friend too, Chi-Chi. And so, she heads off and goes and starts a life somewhere else. Now, real quick, what will happen there? She'll end up meeting someone, having a child, a daughter, a son. They're not going to be relevant to the plot. And the reason they're not going to be relevant to the plot is Chi-Chi didn't want her child to be raised as a martial artist. She wanted them to be raised as a scholar, as someone who would make money with their mind and be able to make a lot of money and make a living for themselves, rather than making money with their fists and just living off prize money the whole time. So unfortunately, this would not be a character that'd be very relevant to the plot overall. Chi-Chi will really just be an in and out side character who maybe helps with, like, I don't know, just trying to think of what she could help with at that point. Like, just helps, because Chi-Chi doesn't really help with it. And again, I don't want to bash Chi-Chi. I do that too much. Just like with Sakura, occasionally I'll go on a Chi-Chi bashing spree. I'm trying not to. So Chi-Chi's kind of just now off to the side. So Goku and Bulma spend time just, bonding, forming a relationship. And ultimately, yeah, they just like with Chi-Chi and Goku, they ultimately do get married. And if you think that's too fast, remember, we have 5 years before Raditz arrives. And Chi-Chi and Goku got married pretty quick. I was like, well, but we're talking about Bulma. I'm sorry, how quick was she to get knocked up by Vegeta? Less than 3 years. So, yeah. I think it's more than likely these two would probably be getting married. Goku would then be moving into Capsule Corp. And Goku doesn't have a job, neither does Vegeta, as far as I know. In one of the movies, it turns out he has a job, but he doesn't need a job. They're the richest family on the planet. But Goku makes up for it by actually having a unique perspective, being an alien, a Saiyan, and a warrior, on how to create things, invent things along those lines, actually help Bulma in the lab, their couples bonding, if you will. And one of the things they definitely try to work on is enhanced methods for training. Now, they do not create the gravity chamber early on. They do create the Capsule Corp ship and would go out in space. And I imagine that's when, Gohan would be conceived, because, you're lost in space for a while. You're navigating space for a while. Yeah, and you're alone with your wife, you're alone with your hubby. Things might happen. So Gohan's a space baby. But no, in terms of actual training, the gravity chamber wouldn't be developed early on because Goku has no knowledge of his home planet and is not trained with King Kai. The reason the reason the gravity chamber was even invented is because Goku mentioned about the gravity on King Kai's planet, and he mentioned the Saiyan's gravity. So the gravity chamber was invented for those reasons. That said, a proto-gravity chamber could definitely be installed there just to kind of regulate the gravity in there. And until the gravity chamber is made, maybe in the final year before Rad shows up, Goku would still be training with other methods, enhanced weighted gear, maybe like maybe kind of like a danger room type scenario. So Goku, over 4 years of actual legitimate training, not having to farm or anything like that, and the start of raising of their son, who would look like Gohan, I think, but just with purple hair. Goku's power goes from the 350 to a little over 1,000. I'd say about like 1,050-ish. However, that's not the only thing that's going on, because Krillin is stopping by too, because they're at the Captain's Corpse. They don't live in the middle of nowhere. I imagine Krillin actually does stop by to say hi from time to time, and even get some training in. Not a lot of training, but some training. This will allow Krillin to grow in strength as well. And when they finally gets the gravity chamber created, most likely as a way of, through the whole idea of Goku thinking, well, gravity on our planets is a lot tougher than ours, I'm sure. So what happens if we get up the gravity on there? Would it be more advantageous to train in? That's a good idea. And so they create a gravity chamber. Now, Goku being at 1,000, a little over 1,000 power level, Krillin maybe being at about 400 as opposed to his 200 plus. They can't handle extremely high gravity at this time, but 10 times is more than enough, and I'm sure they train. Krillin does not train continuously like Goku does. Goku is kind of like Vegeta. He trains continuously for a good while, for like the rest of that year. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to 100 times gravity. I just don't see him getting all the way there. But I do see him getting to about 50 times gravity and just staying there for the time being, the safe marker. I think that might be the cap off limit Bulma installs for the time being, because we don't want to push it. And so Goku just spends his time training there. So at the end of Dragon Ball, and even Gohan did some light training with his dad from time to time. This version of Gohan would kind of be a little pampered like Trunks is. But the difference is he's got the good values that Goku... I mean, Bulma's got good values too, but she's a spoiled rich kid, let's be honest. But Goku's got the good values to instill in his son. So he might have a little bit of that stuck-upness occasionally, but he's still a good-natured kid, and he still means well. And I think he'd be a little less childlike in this version. He wouldn't just be crying all the time. He'd be like, Dad, and comes in and say, oh, come on, Gohan, you can do your best, son. So Gohan might actually be batting like a full 1,000 power level. Krillin also is batting around a 1,200 power level. This is impressive because this is at least what Vegeta and Nappa claim was Raditz's peak. As we know from the Daizenshu, it's actually 1,500. And Goku, because he's constantly training there, I would put him around 26,000. Roughly speaking, a 25 times increase. I went with this because Goku training just under a year under King Kai's took a 20 times increase, going from around 400 something to the 8,000 he went to. Whereas when he trained to go to Namek and hit 100 times, he was only at 9 times his normal power level. Obviously, the stronger you get, the harder it is to grow in strength. But here, Goku was able to hit right around 50 and do that for an extended period of time at around 1,000 power levels. So I kind of just cut out the middleman there and just said, okay, it's not going to be a full, 50, it's not going to be a full 9, but it's got to be more than just 20 because he has access to this thing and he can train harder. So I said about 25, which is roughly around 26,250. We'll just say 26,000 for the time being, but he keeps it suppressed a lot of the time. The point is, we get to the scene where they're all meeting up at Kame's house, and they're all getting ready, and they're all, enjoying themselves and recollecting. They're meeting Gohan's like, Gohan's a little shy, but he sees Uncle Kamala and say, hey, kiddo. It's like, oh my, you two have been busy. It's like, what? We're a married couple. We want a family, so we have a family. You got a problem with that, you old pervert? No, not at all. Meanwhile, Raditz lands on the planet, kills the farmer, meets Piccolo. Piccolo, we should note, is stronger in this version because Goku was stronger in the version when he beat him. I put his max right now at around 500, 550-ish. Definitely stronger, but he couldn't beat Goku in a heartbeat. Now, he can't even beat Krillin now. Tien would also be stronger too, as he's been training to beat Goku. This would probably put his power, roughly speaking, at maybe 300, 350 if he's been putting the extra effort in. again, doesn't really matter because there's no way he can beat Goku right now because he's at access to that gravity chamber. Meanwhile, Raditz picks up a higher power level, right around 1,000-ish, and he heads over to that power level just as before Piccolo was about to get his ass stomped. They sense the power, and in the original, it's like, whoa, man, I've never sensed anything like this. Here's like, I don't know who this is. And I finally found you, Kakarot. And there is Rad seeing his brother say, I'm sorry, what was that? What did you call me? Kakarot, what are you doing? I'm messing around with Arthur. Why did you do your job? It's like, my job? Who the heck are you? Who the hell are you? And, Goku just kind of flies up in the air. It's like, don't you remember me? I'm your brother, Raditz. It's like, my brother? Wait. And it's like, and he sees the tail. Wait, you're an alien too. What do you... So you are an alien. Wow, that's amazing. Wait, so what type of alien? What's our name of our species? And Goku's just suddenly rambling off. Like, don't you remember anything, Kakarot? We are proud Saiyans, and we were hired to clean up this planet of the indigenous people so we could sell it to the highest bidder. And Goku's like, wait, Saiyans so we're Saiyans, huh? That's interesting. But wait a minute, Why would I want to do that? This is my home. This is my friend. I have a family here. Come on, meet everybody. Because remember, Goku's Bulma smart, but he's still Goku in terms of just wanting to be friends and, not needing to fight if you don't necessarily have to, unless it's for fun. So he's like, what are you... And he's like, look, everyone, apparently this is my long-lost brother, Raditz. And he just revealed apparently my species is called Saiyans. And so Rad's like, wait, where's your tail, Kakarot? You don't want to say you've lost your true power. Yeah, I wasn't really looking forward to turning into that monkey again. You mean the mighty Ozaru form? Oh, that's what it's called. Oh, good. I never really could figure out a name for that. I can't believe this, Kakarot. I'll give you... you've fallen from grace, Kakarot. Together, but if you just join up with me, we can wipe this planet out, and all will be forgiven. And Frieza will welcome you into his forces. It truly is the best deal there is. And to which Goku's down like, look, it's great to finally meet you, but I'm not going to just go off and kill people. That's stupid. That's wrong. Why would I do that? So let me handle this, Goku. Look, buddy, you might be Goku's brother, but around here we have a little way of doing things, and it involves not killing people. So why don't you just go back to whatever little space spot you came from and go, piss off and he scans Krillin's power. Krillin probably is suppressed as well at the moment because we don't know what actually power level he read off of Krillin. But who's probably he reads it at maybe 700. It's like impressive, but not impressive enough. Just smacks Krillin, who wasn't seeing it coming. It's able to block, but goes through the wall. It's like, Krillin! It's like, are you okay? It's like, no. And he tries to go for Gohan, only for Goku to be like, it's like, what exactly were you doing? I was like, were you trying to take my son and use him as a bargaining chip? Yes. And just, hold on, Goku. Let him go. The guy got a sucker punch on me. Not cool. Wait, what? You're just walking that off. Because and powers up to his full power. All of a sudden, the scouter clicks on. It's like 1200. And just kind of, he just clocks rats. And they go flying off in the sea and just start duking it out and fighting. And they're evenly matched, but skill-wise, Krillin's probably got the edge as he's trained as a legitimate martial artist. Firing off a ki blast, maybe in a Kamehameha. Keep your eye on the body, bald one, and they just explode. You must be Goku's brother. You're pretty strong. It's like, I'll give you some respect, Earthling. You're not bad yourself, but I'm still stronger. Maybe, but not by much. And besides, and he finally just catches his breath and says, at this point, I don't need to do anything. Why? Because, hey, Goku, he's all yours. It's like, cool. Kakarot, don't be a fool. You can't beat me. I already got a gauge of your power, even if you're hiding a little bit of it. You're best equal to me, but I have far more experience than you at this. Stand down. And Goku's just like, yeah, I don't think so. And just powers up and says, no, what? No. 10,000, 13, 17. And that's when the scatter explodes. Granted, it exploded, I think, in the original because Goku's power was increasing too rapidly and the scatter couldn't keep up. It's possible it couldn't reach power levels from that level, but unlikely. It probably could at least read like the mid tens of thousands. It was going up too fast for because Kaioken's just exponential. It's just going up too fast for Scout to keep up with. So he's over 26,000. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna give you one option here, and this is the only option you have, or two options here. These are the only two you get. You can stay and we can do this, which I don't recommend, or you can get whatever ship you came in and leave, Raditz. I don't care if you're my brother. I don't care if you're my only blood relation left. You do not threaten my friends or my family. And you certainly don't threaten my son. And Raditz, admittedly, as far as we know, does have a bit of a cowardly attitude towards him. So about him. So it's just, this isn't over, Kakarot. Know that. I will return. Fine. But I'll leave you be. I'll leave, but don't think this is over, Kakarot. Not by a long shot. He heads off, and Goku makes sure he gets off out of the planet on a ship, and they fly off. And so they're now just thinking and just like, what did he mean? What did he mean by it? For now, it's like he's probably going to come back, and my guess is he's going to come back with reinforcements. Where it looks like we got some training to do, huh, Goku? Yep, looks like we do, buddy. And but he also mentioned something that I lost my true power when I lost my tail. Do you think it has something to do with turning into the ape form? That what did he call it? Ozaru, that's what he called it. Maybe that's something we can look into for or during your training, or training for these guys, or training for when he comes back. I was like, not a bad idea. And so that is where part 2 is going to end, with Raditz coming, peacing out, like, I cannot take this man in a fight. I can't even take the bald guy in a fight. Peacing out. And the training for the Saiyans, not that they know when the Saiyans are really going to show up, is going to taking place soon. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Join us next week for the week of What If, where we will be extending out the entirety of the, we'll be doing our large bulk What Ifs. Pardon me. Until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you later.